Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this breaking news. WWE have released a lot of superstars during SmackDown, which obviously, it's a business move. It's a business move to do it during SmackDown so that this news gets a little bit hidden by all the news of what's happened on SmackDown. Obviously, they could have done this earlier in the day. They could do it tomorrow. Instead, they're doing it on Friday night during SmackDown. And so they're hoping this news will obviously be seen, but maybe won't get the same level of coverage as it would have at a different time. What was strange was the Cedric release was actually a number of hours ago. So Cedric Alexander has been released. So he says, and actually commented, thank you for the last 8.5 years. Let's just have a look actually at what Cedric had to say. So thank you for the last 8.5 years. Being a professional wrestler has been a dream of mine since I could form memories, and I will continue to do so till the good Lord says otherwise. Hashtag see you in 90. So that seems to suggest that there is a 90-day no compete, right? I've just seen Sean Ross Sapp put a message out where he said, I'm sorry guys, but I don't have the information if this is people's contracts expiring or if they've been released. And that makes it difficult to know if there is 90-day no compete clauses in there or not. So that is definitely a side of things that we don't have much visibility on. But yeah, that is a comment that came out hours ago from Cedric Alexander. And honestly, that felt like it was maybe going to be another isolated incident, just like Duke Hudson, because obviously we said goodbye to Duke Hudson a few days ago. And so this dropped like 3 hours ago. But then an hour ago, news came through that Paul Ellering had been released. Now, all of these releases over the past hour, we haven't heard from those wrestlers at the time, or those personalities at the time of recording this. Paul Ellering, of course, in Final Testament, a legend, from the past. Not someone that I think was really being used all that much. Even when we were seeing Final Testament, we still weren't getting like loads out of Paul Ellering. So maybe this is one that won't have shocked too many people. But, still sad to see us parting ways with someone. But honestly, things would get even crazier then, because here news would come out that not only were we parting ways with Paul Ellering, we were parting ways with the Authors of Pain as well. Now, this is way more surprising because we're trying to build up a tag division. Tag team wrestling seems to be a little bit more on the menu, yet we can't find room for Authors of Pain, a team that had been released, that got brought back, that have now been released again. I mean, we have really messed these guys around. So this one seems... I can sort of understand releasing Paul Ellering if you just didn't feel like, that was working. But to release the Authors of Pain, like a legit badass tag team, that one, even though we weren't using them very much, we always could use them. This one was quite a surprise, but the surprises were far from over. This was 55 minutes ago, an hour ago at the time of recording this. Sonya Deville. Now, there's a bit of confusion as to whether she was released or whether her contract is just expiring. We do have a bit of an update on that one, though. But Sonya Deville, this one coming through just 37 minutes ago. Then 22 minutes ago, Blair Davenport has gone. So we're looking at Cedric Alexander, Paul Ellering, Akam, Razor, the Authors of Pain, Sonya Deville, Blair Davenport. Like, this is mind-blowing. Honestly, absolutely mind-blowing. And at the time of recording this, I still don't know if this is the end of it. And honestly, we've been talking about it as these have been coming through on our watch-along. I know the general consensus is, but some of these were struggling to get TV time anyway. And I do understand that. But the shocking thing about Blair is you go back to November and there were reports that she was in line to get a big push in 2025. And she hasn't had much in the way of opportunity. So it comes back to how much blame goes on the wrestler for not being up to a certain standards, how much blame goes on creative for not finding a creative for them? And honestly, I mean, everyone's going to have a different opinion on that. For me, I just feel so sorry for the talent. I know that you can't keep bringing people in without saying goodbye to people. I do understand that, and I know it's just business, but this is the side of WWE that I think we all hate the most. So here's an update from PW Insider 18 minutes ago. Sonya Deville will be leaving WWE later this month. Don't know that that means that she'll be on TV. We may leave her off TV. Obviously, we're not sure about that. It might be that she just goes home and we just, sees out her contract there. She was informed tonight that the company would not be renewing her current contracts. Sonya will be free and clear to perform anywhere. There would be no 90-day no compete involved. So this one, I don't want to say is a little better because, I really like Sonya. But at least this is, she was getting towards the end of her contract. I think if you're getting towards the end of your contract, you have to know there is a very good chance they're not going to renew it. So she's been informed that that was the case here. Again, we don't know about AOP. We don't know about Paul Ellering. We don't know about Blair Davenport. Was it just a case their contracts were coming up and they've just made this as a decision? Or is it that they've just, parted ways? Here is Dr. Chris Featherstone. Look, November 11, 2024. Current plans are that Blair is going to receive a push upon going to SmackDown, and SmackDown going 3 hours, starting in 2025. She has not been utilised on the current SmackDown due to timing, but the plan was she was going to get a push, right? And now PW Nexus just saying, unfortunate how plans change so fast. Here, Dr. Chris Featherstone said, I've been informed that some WWE talent were caught off guard about these string of releases, especially since most of them were recently on TV or scheduled to receive more exposure. And here, Misfit Wrestling said they never had plans for her. And obviously, Dr. Chris Featherstone said last year they did. He said the plans were stemming all the way back from a few months ago. And that was to give her more exposure, which is why they recently planted seeds on SmackDown. She was kind of seen backstage, actually, in a segment with Naomi and I think Bayley. Plans change quicker than a hiccup. So unfortunately, they never accelerated with what was discussed. So there we go. We're talking about Authors of Pain, Paul Ellering, Cedric Alexander, Blair Davenport, Sonya Deville. These are the names that have been mentioned so far. There may be others. I mean, you can see this stuff is literally coming through 7 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago. We've got updates coming through all the time. I'm wondering if it might stop now because SmackDown has ended. So I'm wondering if now they might just, that might be it. But honestly, I just don't know. So a very concerning evening. Obviously, news that none of us want. And that's the latest in regards to the releases so far. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.